You open the app, you swipe through a few faces. One profile catches your eye. The bio says they are looking for something real. You match. You exchange a few careful messages. Then suddenly they send something that feels off, a request that skips straight to your body, a confession that they just got out of a relationship, a vanishing act before you even meet. You wonder what just happened. You wonder if everyone on here is lying. The obvious answer is that people are dishonest. But the real answer is far stranger, and it is not entirely their fault. You are not simply bumping into a few bad actors. You are caught inside a hidden arms race, a game where the cost of a signal changes everything. And once you see the rules, you will never swipe the same way again. Think about a peacock. Its tail is absurdly heavy. It takes energy to grow. It makes escaping predators harder. A peacock with a huge, vibrant tail is saying something. It is saying, I am so strong I can survive even with this ridiculous burden. Predators cannot fake that signal. A weak bird cannot afford a tail that elaborate. The tail is an honest signal because it is costly. A biologist named Ahmad Zahavi gave this a name. He called it the handicap principle. Honest signals are expensive. Cheap signals are easy to lie with. Now think about your ancestors. For them, signaling romantic intent was also costly. A young man had to prove he could provide. He might spend months carving a gift. He might face a girl's family. He might risk public rejection. The young woman had to signal loyalty and commitment. Her reputation in the community was on the line. Words could be empty. But actions took time, effort, and real stakes. The cost filtered out most of the bluffers. True intentions were easier to read. Then the world changed, and the cost of romantic signaling collapsed. You got dating apps. You got infinite profiles. You got a bio you can write in 30 seconds. You got a swipe that means almost nothing. In this new world, anyone can say anything. And they do. The economic cost of claiming you want a real relationship is zero. The social cost of saying you're just looking for fun is nearly invisible. The biological cost of presenting a fake version of yourself is a few carefully chosen photos. Signals are now nearly free. And free signals destroy trust. There is an economic theory that explains what happens next. It is called the market for lemons. A researcher named George Akerlof described it in the 1970s. Imagine a used car lot. The seller knows if a car is a lemon. The buyer cannot tell just by looking, because the buyer cannot tell the difference she offers an average price. The seller with a good car will not sell for that low price, so he leaves the market. Only the lemons stay. Bad information drives out the good. The whole market becomes risky and suspicious. Now apply that to your dating app. You are the buyer looking for a genuine connection. But you cannot tell who is serious from a profile, because claiming to be serious costs nothing. The sincere person and the player write the same words. So you lower your trust. You assume everyone might be lying. That forces the truly sincere to work harder to prove themselves. But the app does not give them the tools to do that. So they either burn out and leave or start playing the game too. The lemons multiply. The market becomes a pool of ambiguity and half-truths, but it gets even deeper. There is another layer twisting your experience. It is not just the obviously dishonest people. Even the honest ones begin to lie. And they lie because they think you want them to. A researcher named Tracy Lambert studied this phenomenon. She and her colleagues looked at how young men and women perceive each other's desires. They uncovered a classic case of pluralistic ignorance. That is when a group privately rejects a norm but believes everyone else accepts it. Lambert found that both men and women overestimate how comfortable the other gender is with casual sex. Men think women demand casualness. Women think men only want casualness. So women pretend to be more casual than they feel. And men pretend to be more relationship-minded than they are. Do you see the trap now? You log on assuming everyone else plays by certain rules. So you adapt your own signal. You hide your true desire to gain an edge. But everyone else is doing the exact same calculation. The arms race is now complete. The fragile equilibrium settles in. Everyone lies a little. Nobody can trust anyone. And the liars are not even evil. They're just players in a broken game. The result is felt in your chest. The exhaustion after 10 conversations that evaporate. The suspicion that sweet words are just a prelude to a hookup. The creeping numbness after another month of swiping. You are not broken. You are not unlovable. Your time is being wasted by a design that incentivizes false advertising. And the design wants you to stay just hopeful enough to keep swiping. There is a cruel irony here. The apps market themselves as tools of clarity. They promise to help you find what you are looking for. But by making signals nearly free, they drown you in noise. You see more people than your great grandparents met in a lifetime, yet you trust each one less. The volume replaces depth. The cheap bio replaces the slow reveal. And your brain, which evolved to read costly signals, is left confused and drained. Think about the last person you actually met. Maybe you felt a spark over coffee. Perhaps you shared a real laugh. That moment only happened because you both spent time and energy to show up. The signal became credible because it was costly. You had to dress commute and risk an awkward hour. The app, on the other hand, demands almost nothing. A right swipe burns less than a calorie. A message takes seconds. What truth can a costless signal ever contain? Now step back and see the pattern. In any system where good and bad actors mix and signals are cheap, the bad actors win. Sincere men learn that saying they want something serious gets them friend zoned or unmatched. So they start writing what gets matches. Sincere women learn that admitting they want commitment scares off men who think they will be tied down too fast. So they downplay their intentions. Everyone becomes slightly fraudulent. The equilibrium is fragile because if one group suddenly told the whole truth, they would be penalized. So the lies persist. And the pool of liars grows. You see this in the ghosting epidemic. Ghosting is a signal that costs nothing to send or to vanish. In the old world, disappearing after a few dates had real reputation damage. Your friends would talk. Your community would notice. Now you are just another name in an infinite feed. The social cost is near zero. So people hit the eject button without a second thought. And you are left staring at three dots that never turn into a text. This fragile equilibrium also warps your self-perception. You start to wonder what is wrong with you. You struggle to read anyone's true intention because the signals are all scrambled. Your anxiety spikes. You might even begin to mimic the very behavior that hurts you because that seems like the only way to survive the app. You become a lemon in a market you once entered with an honest heart. And the wheel keeps spinning. But there is a way out of the trap, not by finding a perfect bio, not by sending better opening lines, by understanding the deeper architecture of the game. When you know that cheap signals create liars, you can start to discount them. You can look for costly signals even in a low-cost environment. A message that references something specific from your profile. A willingness to move to a video call quickly. A person who invests time without a guarantee. These are still rare and still hard to fake. They carry the echo of the peacock's tail. You can also become the costly signal yourself. Say what you actually want with clarity and let the mismatches fall away. Yes, you will get fewer matches, but each will be closer to reality. The market of lemons says that honest sellers get squeezed out unless they find a way to prove their quality. Your honesty is that proof. It will not work for everyone right away, but it will slowly filter the noise, and it will protect your own fragile hope from eroding further. The arms race of pretending casual while wanting serious will not end tomorrow. The apps have no incentive to change it. Their profit depends on your attention, not your satisfaction. Every confused evening you spend swiping is another dollar for them, so they will keep the signals cheap and the trust thin. So the next time you open the app and read a profile that claims to want a real connection, remember the peacock shaking his brilliant feathers. Remember the used car lot full of lemons. Remember that the person behind that screen is probably trapped in the same spiral you are. They are not evil. They are responding to a system that rewards a small lie more than a big truth. And the only way out is to start recognizing signals that remain expensive in a world that makes lying cheap. That profile that left you confused. That conversation that evaporated. That hollow feeling in your stomach. It is not proof you are failing. It is proof you are awake inside a game rigged long before you downloaded the app. And understanding that is the first costly signal you ever needed to find your way back to something real. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel. A new story every week.